Hi, everybody. I want to tell you that I have a boatload of resources for you. And I'm going to explain kind of where you can find them and what they are. And they're to do with being a Christian homeschool mom, which is what I am and what many of you are. Um, I have different pockets of goodies for you. And before I share what those are, I want to tell you a little bit about me just so that you can decide whether or not it is that you would even care about hearing what I have for you. My name is Becky, and my husband tricked me into homeschooling many years ago. He said, I want us to homeschool our kids. I said, no, homeschoolers are weird. He said, give it a try. 1 year, give it your best, give it your all. And if at the end of the year you hate it, we'll do something else. Well, I dropped my paper with my notes on it. So obviously, here I am 25 years later, more than 25 years later, and I'm still homeschooling. We have 5 boys, ages right now from 16 to 28. They all have either graduated from college or are in the process of graduating from college. And they're the kind of kids, kind of young men that when they come alongside you and they work with you, or they assist you, or they teach you, or they listen, they walk away and people shake their head like, wow, that's an amazing young man. And so here I am 25 years later, and I have homeschooled in all the different ways that you can, writing my own curriculum, being involved in a public school that sends all their stuff to the home, and everything in between. So now that my kids are aging out, I'm in this amazing position where I have over 25 years worth of experience. I would call it gray haired wisdom, resources, and things that I'm creating that I want to be able to bless the homeschool community with. The reason is my heart is to share the message that we can homeschool, focusing on the heart, attitude, and character of our kids first, and have it academically turn out okay in the end. I've had my own little scientific study of 5, and so far all 5 have done amazingly well. So this little video is to give you an idea of some of the things that I have for you, things that I've either already created, little groups that I've already grown, or something new that I'm working on. Okay. So the very first thing is that I have a website called A Better Way to Homeschool. If you go there, right at the top, there is a blue block box that offers you a free copy of my book. It's a PDF copy. You can get it on Amazon as well. Just Google the title. But if you click there, drop your email in, a PDF version of the book will come to you. That book is small. It's a fast read, but it's one of those that makes you go, huh, I never thought about that before, because it focuses on this stuff. Us first, as homeschool moms, our families and our kids, and yes, academics as well too, but really just focusing on that heart of homeschool. What is it that our kids need? Because homeschooling, you got to remember, homeschooling is like parenting, but with school supplies, right? So we have to remember that we're not just teaching our kids to read and write. We're teaching our kids, we're training them up to be amazing adults that will take flight and do amazing things for this world. So that's the heart of that book, and I want you to get a free copy of it. So when this is done, click over to A Better Way to Homeschool and get a copy of that free book. Oh, I've had that website since 2012, before I knew how to do a blog, before I knew how to do anything. And I've shared all of the parts and pieces of our homeschool journey, how to cook, how to write, how to teach kids how to write, how to teach kids how to do math and history and science and all that stuff. There's tons of resources out there for you. But I definitely want you to get a copy of the book, because that'll let you know what my heart is and let you know whether or not you need to unsubscribe and run away from me on the internet. So that's my blog. The second thing is I am on Facebook also. I have a group, well, I have a page, a main page, A Better Way to Homeschool. And then I have a private group that is called Our Lives as Homeschool Moms. If you want an invite to it, say something in the comments and I'll connect with you in there. Inside that community, it's a group of Christian, mostly moms, some of which I've known since high school. So there are moms in there that I went to high school with. Now, I'm not going to tell you that they're old, but I'm not a high schooler anymore. So I've known some of these women for a long time. Some of them were there when I gave birth to some of my children. It's an amazing group of women. Some have taught my kids, and many I have just met online, and they're amazing. Inside of that group, it's a safe group. There's no snarky name calling, horrible yuck. As a matter of fact, if people kick up dirt at other people, I kick them out of the group because there's just no place for that, right? Kindness trumps everything. We cover everything with love. So if you want to be in a positive group on Facebook, let me know and I will connect you there. You get moms that you can ask questions from. You get tips and tricks from the whole gamut of homeschooling. Everything from, how to do chores with your kids, different ages and stages of children, marriage, life, and all kinds of ideas for you to just thrive in your homeschool journey, with the caveat of knowing, and I said this just in another group just a little while ago, if you ask 5 homeschoolers for their opinion, you're going to get 7 opinions thrown back at you. So whenever you just ask a question on social media, please know that you're going to get bombarded with what people think you should do, and just be careful with that. But this is a safe place for you and you're invited. I would love to have you in there. It's also, like I said, a Christian group. And so you can ask for prayer and you can expect to be prayed for. And if somebody asks for prayer, please take a few minutes of your time to lift them up in prayer as well. The last section of the internet that you can find resources from me is what is called an insiders group. It's a membership group, and you get access to everything, but then you get access to all kinds of goodies that are coming at you. So everything from free mail, not free mail, but mail that I send to you. Like, this is one of the exclusives that I just sent out a couple weeks ago. There's only a few left because they're for the founding members of the group. It's a refrigerator magnet that says homeschool. It's like parenting, but with school supplies. I have a sticker that is coming. That's a secret sticker. It's going to be here in a week for me to preview, and then I get to send that out as well. So you get swag coming at you, but you also get access to the the beta products that I'm working on. Right now, I'm working on a kit that is, imagine that you're going to teach your children a themed unit about birds, and you know that this is going to take 2 to 4 weeks. You're going to do an in-depth study on birds. Well, these are prototypes. So I'm just going to show you the blank backs. Okay, so just the blank backs. You'll get these cards that you'll put out in front of your kids on the table, and each card will have a specific project idea for your kids to choose from. And so it'll be everything from a build it with clay to a different kinds of foldable projects that they can do out of paper, web type things that they can do like PowerPoints or presentations. And you'll be able to place these things out in front of your kids and say, okay, we're getting ready to study birds. What do you want your final project to be? And they'll be able to pick the card, and then that will be what you work towards. As you learn about birds or whatever it is that you're studying, you'll be able to complete that project. I am so excited about this. I can't even tell you. It will have the ability for you to access right from the card. You'll be able to access the materials list that you need and the instructions so that you'll be able to guide your child through that project. These are the secret sauce type things that I did with my kids all throughout our homeschool journey. And that when people look at what my kids have done, they say things to me like, wow, you're creative, or oh my gosh, I can't believe that you did this. with your kids or that your kids created this, when the reality is that your kids can do this as well. And just like someone taught me how to do this type of project, and then I taught it to my kids and now to you, these are things that are easy to follow along, easy to complete, and make a beautiful complement to anything that you are teaching your children in the whole homeschool journey. So you've got this. Homeschooling can feel pretty lonely, and I know that. We homeschool and we parent within our four walls. If we're super extroverted, then we actually go out into the community and we're involved in different things, and our kids get all kinds of interaction. But most of our life is truly lived within our little four-wall universe. And so it can feel isolating when you're a homeschool mom. You can feel like you're alone and that nobody gets the whole thing. And I want you to know that there's something here for you, something that will encourage you along your way. Maybe it's just a word of encouragement about focusing on the heart and character of your children and that you will end up where you want to be. Maybe it's a community of moms that you can share ideas with, ask questions, or raise your hand if you need prayer. And maybe you want more. Maybe you want these things, but you also want the free stuff. You want the printables, you want the classes, you want the magnets and the stickers and the little paper kits coming to you in the mail, like the good old days. You might be too young to remember that your mailbox is actually for letters, not bills and junk mail. But there used to be a day that you could open up your mailbox and there would be a handwritten letter from somebody inside, and it just makes you feel so great. So inside, you get those kinds of things coming to you in your mailbox, and also all these amazing projects and things that you can do with your kids. So, a better way to homeschool is named a better way, not because it's my way, but because it's your way. Whatever way works for your kids, your personality, your family, and trains them up in the way they should go so that they have excellent attitude and character as well as grit and determination, right? So that they do what they say they're going to do. They set goals and they complete them. A better way is what works for you. And so, in my little corner of the universe, it's all about you. I want to be able to deliver to you the types of materials, the types of encouragement that keep pushing you forward. The little goodies in the mailbox, the little goodies in your inbox are all meant to inspire you to keep going because it can be lonely when you're homeschooling or downright discouraging. These kids are real flesh and blood. Your house is supposed to look like people live there, and your kids make sure that your house looks like people live there, right? Mine do too. So I want you to know that all of these things, whether they're just videos, whether they're emails to your inbox or goodies to your mailbox or things that you can download and do, they're all created with the heart that I want to encourage you in your homeschool journey so that when you're at the end, you look back and you're like, wow, that was a great adventure. Anyway, my name is Becky with A Better Way to Homeschool. I have stuff for you in the descriptions. You can find links to all of these things. If you have questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you next time.